Hey everyone, I'm Ryan, you're watching 60 Cycle Hum, and in this video, I'm gonna have some fun. And I think you're gonna have fun with me. I'm gonna compare my real deal Fender Princeton Reverb back there against the new patches that Line 6 put in their HX family of products. They put a Princess amp patch in there with a 1x10 cab and a 1x12 cab available. I've been a Fender Princeton user, a lover of the Princeton, for a long time now. Before this channel, before all this nonsense that I do now, I've been using Fender Princetons. I actually own two now. I just got that one recently, and I have a black one back there behind me. But I'm just gonna use the newer one for this video. So anyways, let's load this thing up. We'll put it right about there. We'll do amps and cabs separately so I can switch between the 12 and the 10. US Princess. We'll start with the 1x10 cab because that's what I have in my actual Princeton. 1x10 US Princess, and then we'll put the 12 over here as well. There you are, 1x12 Princess. Turn that off. And now let's sync up the settings. They start this off kind of dialed in funky. The bass really low, treble kind of mid-high, and there's mids on this. There's not mids control on a real Princeton. So let's start off with the real Princeton. We'll see how these stock settings sound in comparison to my settings, and then I'll match the settings to my amp settings. By the way, I'm playing my Jennings Navigator, classic butterscotch telly tone here, guys. I love this guitar. So anyways, let's throw on the headphones, switch over to the HX Stomp, and see how that compares. Bit of funky note there. This is really less fair to me than it is to you because you're hearing it, mixed afterwards. I'm having to jump between hearing with my ears a speaker that's behind me and hearing it with headphones. So it won't be completely fair to me for this comparison, but you guys will really be able to hear it. All right, let's dial this thing in a little bit closer. 3.5 on the drive / volume. The volume knob on the Princeton is what controls drive. You turn it up, it gets dirtier. So that's what I'm considering the drive. Bass, way off on the bass. 8. I'm running 8 on the amp. Mids, I'm just going to leave them because there's nothing I can change on the amp. Treble is at 5. Presence, I can't change that. Channel volume, I can't change that. Master, sag, hum, ripple, bias, bias X. These are all extra settings that would allow me to hyper tweak and dial in exactly what I want from this patch. All right, let's see how it compares now. Got kind of a low-end rumble to it. Let's compare it to the amp. I can't hear that. They might have sounded a lot closer on the stock settings. Now, way too much drive. We'll take it back to 2.5. Bring that low end back quite a bit. needs more sparkle too. Let's bring up that presence. There we go. Still needs more treble. Let's go crazy in diamond. What do you guys think? I can't tell quite yet because of my unique position here. I do feel like this Princess patch captures the vibe and captures the spirit and the qualities that I like in a Princeton. And I'm excited to have a Princeton patch on the HX Stomp now, especially considering that this is the core of my rig when I go and shoot NAMM and Toman and other events like that. And having a patch that closely represents the sounds that I use at home, I'm pretty excited about it. Thanks, Line 6. Thanks a lot for giving me a Princeton finally. So let's try it out with the 12-inch speaker. Let's see if that changes anything. Oh, you know what? I should change the mic settings first on this 10-inch. I'm using a ribbon mic, a Cascade Fathead ribbon mic on the actual Princeton. Let's see if changing the mic gets it closer. There we go. We're in the ribbon mic section. I usually like this 121 ribbon. That's actually a lot better, from my perspective anyways. Yeah, that sounds a lot closer. Now, if I wanted to get super tweaky and make sure that I was completely matching the sound of that amp as it's set up right now, I could go take a recording of that amp, I could sit down at my computer, and I could run this into my input device and compare back and forth directly to the recording of the Princeton, which is something I should probably do before, you know, NAMMs happen again, before I go on the road again and use this thing, is match my Princeton as closely as possible. But that's not what I want to do right now. That's not what I set up to do. That's not the fun I want to have. Let's try some of the other ribbon mic settings on here. That's too bassy. Yeah, that 121, that's my jam. And then there's all kinds of dynamics. Bunch of other settings I could tweak if I wanted to. Let's jump over to the 12-inch. This one comes with the 121 already on it. I wonder what made them make that decision over at Line 6. That 12-inch sounds thinner and more sterile. When I did my my introduction video to that amp when I recently got it, someone got in the comments and was telling me how wrong I was to love 10-inch speakers. But I don't know, man, this kind of confirms it. I love 10-inch speakers, I really do. They have this tight, kind of low-mid focus to them that I really enjoy. A 12-inch speaker, yeah, it gets you a wider frequency range, but I feel like being tighter in the pocket with my frequencies like you get from a 10-inch is pretty nice. It's where I like to live. I'm not against 12 inches, but I really love 10 inches. All right, let's see if we can tweak that 12 a little bit. Let's try it with some different mics. The 4038 sounds closer to what I like on the 12-inch. It's just missing that creaminess. It doesn't sound bad. It really doesn't. I just prefer that 10. It feels like it has this little, punch in the gut sort of thing going on. Now that we've determined I like the 10-inch better, let's explore drive sounds. I don't usually turn up my Princeton and push it into drive, but when I do, it's a lot of fun. Let's try turning this all the way up and see how it compares. This is definitely safer to do than turning up the actual amp, is to use the HX Stomp. All right, we're dangerous. The amp is all the way up. Adjust that microphone. I adjusted the microphone and I brought the lows down a bit on that, just because I was afraid of flubbing the speaker a little bit too much with the lows. Go back to the HX Stomp, the Princess. I'm going to leave judgment on that for editing, Ryan. It's too hard to tell here in person because the volume difference is so great. And the way the air is moving is so different. I'm getting the same kind of flavor of crispiness and like edge of being completely destroyed kind of breakup from the Princess. But the Princeton here in room, I mean, it just feels like my teeth are gonna come loose. Let's do more like a more polite drive. That's right about 6.5. So we'll match that here. it's close enough. I think it's close enough to make me happy, to make me feel good about using this as a Princeton replacement in the field. At home, I have a Princeton, so why would I do that? But when I'm playing around and stuff like that, running front of house, when I'm playing at church, recording at NAMM, Thomann, wherever I end up, I'm really happy. Thank you, Line 6. I think they did a great job. It's probably not perfect in post. There's probably ways it can be tweaked to be even closer. But right here in room, switching from speaker to headphones, it's got the vibe. It's got the vibe. And I feel like if I was listening to that amp through headphones, pre-recorded, and then running that through this, I could probably get pretty close. I think they're probably gonna take pedals totally different. When you tend to hit this with a hot boost or something like that, it's gonna fall apart in a completely different way than a real tube amp would fall apart. But I tend to not run my tube amps hot anyway, so I'm not super worried about that. What do you guys think? I want to know your opinions down below. Do you have an HX Stomp? Do you have a Princeton? How do you think they compare? I think this is, if you already have an HX Stomp, I think this is a fun way for people to explore an amp that they maybe don't have. If you don't have a Princeton, but you've been Princeton curious, spend some time exploring it around the kind of range of stuff that I was exploring it, and you'll be able to hear kind of roughly what a Princeton would be like in your rig if you're Princeton curious. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments. Support us on Patreon. You know the whole deal. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram. We're on Discord now. There are links down below for all of that. And you know what? Stay grounded. You deserve it.